It's Leanne Peters here. I'm from Temple of Balance and I'm here to host our Patron personal healing event for July 2025. This is coming a bit earlier than usual because I'm about to take a week off at the end of the month. So this healing event's sort of brought forward closer to the middle of the month than usual. So welcome. I have 4 people on my healing list today. I have your names in my little frog pots. Good morning, Jackie. Welcome. So I'll be pulling your names out at random, but I do trust that you'll come out in the right order at the right time. So I look forward to connecting with you. So what I'll be doing is I'll be working personally with each person for around 10 minutes. I'm going to be using my healing energy cards at the beginning and the end of every connection. And then I'll tune in on the in-between time for about the 10 minutes. And as I tune in, I become sensitive to your energy. So if I'm connecting with you, it's sort of hard to explain, but the way that I can perhaps best explain it is that I know what it feels like to be in my body. And when I tune into people, I start feeling things that I don't usually feel in my own body. So over the last 25 or so years, I've learned how to interpret that energy and share that in a way, hopefully, that makes sense to the person that I'm connecting with. So I just have to trust what I'm feeling and trust in the unfolding and see what happens. I don't prepare anything except for my space and my names. I don't meditate before I connect or anything like that. I just trust in the unfolding and just dive in. And it seems to work for me. So I trust it works for you too. So I look forward to connecting with you if you are on the healing list today. If you're not on the healing list and you're here and this happens to be a good time for you to connect, I do trust that you've been led here for a reason, and I trust that something shared supports you. So see what comes up and see what fits in with what you've got going on, and we'll go from there. So I think that's all I really need to say. So I'm going to just dive straight in, and I'm going to start with this person. The first person I'm connecting with today is Jane Corlett. So Jane, welcome. Please take a nice big breath. I'm going to take off my slippers. It's getting hot in here. Right, Jane, nice big breath. And everyone else who's open to connecting, or if you're waiting for your name to be pulled, then please take a nice big breath. Jane, I'm going to start by pulling a card for you, and the best healing energy card to start this connection is this one. It's from Healing Energy Cards Deck 1, and it is Third Eye Opening, card 21, and it's in the Rise category here. It says Deep Opening, Healing Trust Issues, Awakening Your Intuition, Trusting in the Flow of Life, and Trusting in Yourself. Pass through the doorway and overcoming obstacles. This is an initiation of sorts as you've been led through the ground that takes you through the land that takes you to the initiation point. This feels like a stag antlers, a pair of stag antlers here that's calling you into it. Like as if these are like a monument of some sort that are calling you into yourself and into your third eye chakra, into your intuition, and strengthening your ability to trust in your intuition. So nice big breath for me, Jane. And as I connect with you, I'm very much being drawn to your third eye chakra, which feels like it's on the expand. So it feels like it's expanding on the horizontal. So it's expanding across and it's pushing open, but pushing forward. So almost like it's trying to push you forward. So expanding across and pushing you forward. So the expansion across feels like it's wanting to grow, and it's wanting to help you trust more in the direction that you're taking and the path that you're walking in your life itself. And then as the energy kind of pushes forward, it's trying to help you push forward in your life as well. So to trust in the direction that you're going and then push forward confidently, in full trust of yourself and full trust of your intuition, but also full trust of where you are in your life. So it's like as this energy expands through the sides, it like pushes out and away the insecurities that you may have been feeling, or the limitations that you place on your intuition and on your ability to trust in yourself. It pushes those out, and they're sort of like, it's sort of like a really badly built scaffold, that's sort of a scaffolding that's very poorly built, coming up the sides of your head. And as this energy pushes out, it kind of breaks down and collapses the scaffolding. And the scaffolding is like, almost like, it's very poorly built, so it feels like the sort of false sense of security or insecurity from the insecurities. So it's like feeling or thinking that your doubts, or your negative what am I trying to say here? Negative thinking, your doubts, your insecurities, your limitations in your mind, but especially in your third eye, that these are somehow built on something solid, that they're somehow real, but they're actually just in the peripheral, and they're not substantial at all, because as this energy moves out, it just, the scaffolding just collapses. So there's nothing substantial that the self-doubt, the negativity, the lack of self-trust, the trust issues themselves, there's nothing substantial that these are being built on. These are being built on a wobbly, very poorly built scaffolding. So these easily crumble and these easily push aside as the energy moves out, and just basically almost like a sort of a wind. It's not even a strong gust, a wind that just pushes through and drops the scaffold. So the scaffolds are dropping, or have dropped on both sides. So as they've dropped, as you've let that the false sense of security go, then that energy pushes forward. So it's like helping reinforce your ability to trust in yourself and trust in the direction you're going, and the forward momentum that you're moving into, or perhaps you've already moved into it, because it does feel like there's a forward momentum that's kind of building at the moment. So that makes me feel it's already started. So you might feel like you're on a bit of a momentum forward, almost like the waves or the swell is kind of increasing and pushing forward, stronger each day or stronger each moment. And it's really pinned on your strong intuition, your strong third eye here. So this is very strongly opening up. I can feel the energy as it sort of opens and pulls forward. It also showers down over your body. So I feel like it has an influence over the rest of your body as well, from your third eye chakra down. So it's almost showering down this sense of confidence, a sense of self-trust that's growing, that drops down over you. And this brings like it's almost like it's helping replace an underlying hesitation or an underlying fear that you probably have as you've been living and walking and journeying through your life. You know, like this underlying hesitation that just pops up every now and then, but it's just sort of sitting underneath, or this underlying fear. So it's like this confidence and this self-trust is showering down and helping move out or replace that hesitation or that fear that has been underlying, so that the underlying energy is actually a confidence, and the underlying energy is a self-trust, a trusting in yourself, which is also a trusting in your intuition. So this is coming down, almost pancaking down over the hesitation and fear, and is creating a more solid foundation for you to be going through your everyday life with this solid foundation underneath you. So that feels really good. Sneezing again. Okay, so this feels really good because it feels like really solid foundations are being established, and I feel like you've already been starting this, you've already been doing it. Hopefully some of the words that I've used and some of the energy that I'm sharing with you, that I'm picking up on, hopefully this is helping you understand the energy a little bit more, Jane. But I feel like you've already started this. This is not anything new. This is something that you've been sort of sinking into a little bit over time, and the momentum is building on this. But I do feel that we've created or that's been created is a solid foundation that you're standing upon. So instead of it being shaky ground of hesitation and fear, it's like you're standing on more solid ground of self-trust and self-confidence. And then that can help springboard you to that next level too. And then the momentum builds even further. So the momentum, the forward momentum that's already present, this builds even more when you've got an underlying foundation of self-trust and self-confidence instead of hesitation and fear. So this is strong. So you're building solid foundations. Your body's very receptive. You're energetically, you're receiving this growing sense of what's a strength. This confidence is a strength. This self-trust is a strength. It's a growing sense of strength that you are receiving in your body. So I feel like you're very receptive. So from your third eye chakra down, it's just like you're strengthening. So your body's strengthening. You may even feel more energetically, mentally, emotionally, let's say, or in our life. It often works even better if we can strengthen our body. So increasing our motivation to exercise or strength build our body, keep our body strong, goes hand in hand with this. I wouldn't be surprised if you're inspired to really strengthen your body, which then enforces the strengthening of yourself. So this is all happening now, even though the momentum forward is strong. I don't feel you pulling forward. I feel like you're sort of patiently receiving, patiently strengthening yourself as the forward momentum just helps entice you forward, just steps at a time kind of thing. So I trust that resonates with you, Jane. Thank you so much for your support, and thank you for allowing me to connect with you today. So Jane, your best card to finish up this connection is, we'll go with this one. It's also from Healing Energy Cards, Deck 1. Oh, yes. It's my favorite card, I think, in the whole deck, and we haven't seen this for a while. It's card 33, The Rise of the Phoenix. So again, this is in the rise category, exactly like your other one. So there's an uplifting energy that's trying to really uplift you at this time. This says, I've got to read it because it's just so inspiring. It says, take everything to the next level. Rebirth, new life, let go. Emerge as your real you. You create galaxies through your actions and intentions. Expand. And there is that feeling, isn't there, like I was talking about before, it's energy expanding through, especially through the third eye chakra, and it does feel a lot like this expansion through, and then this momentum, like this almost a wave moving forward. So enjoy. Feels really nice, Jane. Thank you so much, and namaste. Okay, let's pop these cards back and let's see who's next. Next on my list today is this person, and this person is Jackie. So I don't know if you're still here, Jackie, but take a nice big breath and let's see which cards you need for today. Oh, I can feel your legs walking. So there's like this a movement, a walking feeling with your legs, like your legs just want to get up and go, get up and move, get up and walk, get up and get going kind of feeling. But let's grab a card first before I explore that further. We've got from the second deck this card. Thanks, Jackie. We've got card 105 called Disintegration, and it's interesting, I was drawn to the legs because the legs are dissolving on this illustration. Very interesting. Again, we've got some stag antlers here. It says, things falling apart to come back together again in a new and better way. Release your hold, the glue is melting. Transformation, reforming, and the new. So there's this energy that's kind of shifting through your legs, especially a disintegration according to this card. But let's tune in and just see what I'm picking up here. So I feel like your legs are just kind of want to get going. There's just like maybe it's a readiness or an eagerness or just a desire to move, to go, to take action, to get things happening. So your legs want to go, your rest of your body, so from your hips up, kind of feels like it's sort of weighting back a bit. So your legs are definitely feel like they want to sort of push ahead or move forward, which then makes me feel the upper part of your body kind of not in alignment completely with that, because this part of your body's leaning back. So this part of your body may feel a bit hesitant, because that leaning back energy makes me feel like there's some hesitation, maybe some uncertainty or some fear, or some it's not quite the right time but you're ready to go. So there's something that's holding a part of you back, but there's something that's pushing a part of you forward. I mean, there's only so far your legs are going to be able to go on their own before you sort of fall flat on your back, because your legs need to have your body sort of in alignment with them, so that you can move together as one body. So there does feel to be an alignment thing that may be playing out at the moment for you too, Jackie, where you may feel like you're out of alignment, like you're toing and froing, you're umming and ahhing. There's probably a swinging feeling where you sort of yes 1 minute and no the next. So there is this kind of polarity, a duality that's playing out too, is the feeling here. So what I want to do is I want to sort of bring your legs back, and I want to bring your body forward, and I want to get them into alignment. So that's what I'm imagining doing here. So just sort of calming your legs down, bringing them forward. They still want to go. It's like running on air or something. So just kind of bringing them back, bringing the upper part of your body forward, and sort of locking the upper part and the lower part here at your hips. So your hips are about direction and movement. Your body now has sort of aligned with your legs. So I can feel more of this upright energy, this present, in the present moment energy as well, as things lock into place. I also feel a shift, like a shift moving from one side, twisting forward. So there's also a twisting feeling in your body, which also could be showing up as an imbalance that you're noticing. So perhaps again, that highlighting of the duality, of the swinging between yes and no, or head and the heart, that kind of thing. So sort of twisting your body, your upper body, and locking that into position too. So your whole body is facing forward. So you've got your past path that you've walked even 5 minutes ago, or 5 weeks ago, 5 years ago, all that trails off behind you, under your feet, and you've got your unknown sort of future path that trails off ahead of you, and you're facing that square on. So you're not slightly to the side, you're facing it square on. So here in this moment, you can make the changes that are necessary, make the adjustments or the improvements, so that you can adjust the course of where your path is going, and you're still in alignment and really facing square on that path. So if it's going straight from where you are now, then great, you go straight. But if something's not right, or you need to make some changes, or you're ready to go, you're ready to go on a new adventure, or you're ready to try something new, then maybe there's a course adjustment, like a path adjustment that needs to be made, that your body can then line up with. So now is the powerful moment to decide what it is that you want moving forward. So I kind of feel like you're at a juncture or a crossroad of some sort, where there's a part of you that wants to try something new or go into something new, but a part of you that's hesitant. And with your body in alignment here, and this sense of bringing your body back together, feels to me like you're in a better position to be able to make a clear decision, instead of playing on the ums and the ahs and the yeses and the nos that you're just feeling within yourself. So it's almost like an inner conflict or an inner battle that's playing out, because you're not perhaps sure which way to go. So being in alignment helps you be able to make a more informed decision. So I see you sort of locked now into position in your body, wherever your feet are on the ground right now. And now this is the place or the point to decide what it is that you want to do moving forward. What do you want from this next chapter of your life? Makes me feel a bit emotional. Maybe part of the hesitation is that there are changes that need to be made that you may not fully want to make at this point. So there is a bit of an emotion with this, perhaps a bit of grief that's surrounding it too. If you decide to make your move, if you decide to stay, then there's probably a different sort of grief, a grief in not pursuing or not moving ahead, or not going towards your goal or whatever it is that's pulling you forward, that your legs really want to run in. They're so eager to go in that direction. So I feel like there's grief either way, like a almost like a death of yourself in some ways, because it feels like you can't have both at the same time. So there is a bit of a conundrum here, is the feeling. So in this moment with you in alignment, it's probably a good time over the next few days to really think seriously and really feel upon what is it that you want to do. Where do you imagine yourself in 3 months or 6 months time? Do you want to stay in the same place you are now? Do you imagine yourself in a different place or in a different time, or having a different experience? So these sorts of things to consider at this time. So the energy's settling. I feel like this is a time to settle and really contemplate and decide and really feel upon what you want to do next. So I'm going to grab a card to add here for you, Jackie. I trust this makes sense to you. And the best card to add here to tie this up is this. It's also from the second deck, and it is Reset. This is very interesting, and you've also got another card in neutral. So neutral, this is the crossroad, this is the center point, this is the point of alignment, this is the crossroad where you decide which path will I take or what am I going to do moving forward. Reset though, right here in center. So you're here in center now. We've got an egg here, and the egg is a symbol of new beginnings. So there is this new energy that's kind of pulling at a part of you, I feel. It says here it's a chance to start over, that an opportunity exists now. The unknown, the void, a fresh start. Potential, the blank canvas, anything is possible, and be proactive. Although I would, at this particular moment, based on what I felt of your energy, I don't know if now's the time to be proactive. I think now is the time to contemplate and to feel upon what is it that I want to do? What do I need to start here? What is the potential? What is it that requires a reset or a chance to start over? So this is very interesting, this card coming up with what I've been talking about. There is potential all around here, and this is you in center, so you can make the clearest, best decision possible. So if you've got this deck, Jackie, you may want to grab the reset cards, number 79 from your deck, and keep it close by, and perhaps even card 105 if you wish. But thank you, and I trust this makes sense. Thank you so much, Jackie. Oh, interesting. Thank you. Namaste. Okay. Let's see who's next. I've got 2 more people on my healing list. I'm going to be back again in a couple of hours to do the healing list event for our patrons as well. So I'll talk more about that later. Now I'm connecting with Susan Sonsteng. So Susan, please take a nice big breath, and let's see which card you get to start this connection today. And if you're interested in having me connect with you in this way, you're welcome to have a look further on my Patreon page. You can find the link in the video description. And at the $50 or higher, that's US dollars or higher, to pledge that amount, you automatically are included in this event each month. So check it out if you're interested. So Susan, your best card to start this connection is here. It's from the second deck. Thanks, Jackie. Card 97, flowing free, flowing free. This is also in neutral. It says complete surrender. And there's something just so beautiful about that feeling of complete surrender. And I personally find it when I'm at the ocean or in the water or at the pool, but I don't usually go to a pool, so it's usually at the ocean. And I can just sort of drop my body down into the ocean and feel it support me as I just let everything go. And it's just, there's just something really beautiful about a deep surrender, a surrendering the fear, a surrendering our expectations or assumptions and all the things we have attached to whatever it is we've got going on. So complete surrender. In surrender, there is peace. Move with each step. Participate actively in your life, and you can trust in the direction that you're going. So there is a deep feeling of surrender, but also flow with this particular card, Susan, as you're being encouraged to let go, because surrendering requires a letting go. Let go and allow the flow. Allow yourself to move with the rhythm of your life. So letting go of the things that keep the boundaries or the barriers or the restrictions or the limitations, keep the rules and the control up in your life. And how I'm seeing that in my mind is like a wooden, like a fence around a fortress, a wooden fortress, and it's a wooden fence. So it feels very crude. It feels like something you might see in Scotland or something back a couple of 100 years ago. And it just feels very wooden, quite crude. But the fence is what I'm drawn to. So it's like a fortress or well, it feels like a fortress and a fence all around the outside. So fences are good for barriers and boundaries, and they keep unwanted energy out, and they keep the energy we want in. So if we've got livestock in there, it helps them from not going out. But if we've got enemies, then it stops them from coming in. So the boundaries certainly play a purpose and a role in our life, keeping boundaries up. But I feel like this has become a defense rather than a boundary. What do I mean by that? It feels like it's, instead of being a healthy boundary, it feels like it's a defense, like defensive walls. And defensive walls, when boundaries become defenses, then we usually hide behind them, and we usually get quite defensive because we feel like we have to defend ourselves or justify ourselves why we're doing this or why we're doing that. And then we end up hiding and barricading ourselves behind these defensive walls. So the boundaries become unhealthy in some ways. So we won't need to defend our boundaries. We can enforce our boundaries in our own way without having to defend them or hide behind them. So when a boundary becomes unhealthy, it can become like a defensive wall. And that's what this feels like. So I feel like all these, they feel like hand carved sticks with spikes on the top, and it feels like a defensive wall around the fortress that is you. And I feel like in some ways this is holding you back from being able to move where you need to go. I don't see any gate or exit or entry from around these defensive walls, so it does make me feel like you've potentially barricaded yourself into these defensive walls. So you'll know that this is the case, Susan, if you've been really defensive lately and feeling really insecure and perhaps in control or trying to keep in control of things, but the control may be slipping away. You might feel like also like you're holding on to things that you didn't realize perhaps before until you stop and think about it. So what I'd like to do is actually break this wall down. So I imagine now that we just push this wall over from the inside. We push it over and create an exit and potentially an entry, but we're looking for an exit. So we want an exit, a way out of this defensive wall that's been put up. Sometimes these defensive walls can be like brick, and they can be high and really a real hindrance to our ability to move forward. So it's not that high. I mean, it's about as high as a person, but I've certainly seen higher, and I've certainly seen stronger. So we can push it over pretty easily. That shows me it's not that enforced, so it hasn't been in place for an excessive amount of time. I feel like a part of you is willing to let this go and to create some more healthy boundaries, especially around your relationships and the way you spend your time. I feel like time, or your time management, and boundaries around that in a healthy way are worth potentially looking closer at, rather than hiding behind the defensive walls. So the walls are down, we move out. I say, because I feel like I'm with you, and we're moving out of the fortress and out away from these defensive walls and across the land. So it feels like across the land, moving forward and to the right, and it feels green and rolling hills. and really quite beautiful. And we just need to walk away from the fortress, walk away from the feeling that you have to defend yourself, or the feeling like you're on guard all the time, or that you have to protect yourself perhaps as well. There is that sort of defensive, protective conflict kind of feeling here. So just not even looking back, just looking forward, and just almost walking really quickly away and down over the hill and out of the space and vicinity of this fortress and of that defensive wall. So now you set up kind of camp. It feels like away from this, and I feel like you sort of settle into yourself here. I feel like you sit down on the lush green grass. It's beautiful. There's nothing around but rolling hills and the odd tree, lots of rocks. It feels like this is a time of simplicity, a time of reconnecting with yourself and what's important to you in your life, and what needs to change in your attitude and your approach to things, especially in regards to conflicts and things like this. So it's sort of settling into yourself. You're kind of going inward to connect and to really look at assessing your boundaries and how to create healthy boundaries, especially in relationships and with your time management. So that's what I'm feeling here strongly, Susan. So I'm going to grab a card to add here. And so I would be, at least at this time, just holding in this quiet, simplistic space. There might be feelings at times of feeling undefended or vulnerable or exposed, or like you could be under attack at any moment because you don't have the perceived protection of the defensive walls. But you're being encouraged to sort of drop and let go of those insecurities, and it's almost like the habit of being in the fortress, the habit of being so defensive has sort of an ongoing ripple effect. So it's a time now to break that and to reassure yourself that you are safe and protected, and that you can enforce some healthy boundaries that are not reactionary and not defensive, but that are healthy and supportive for you and what you need from your life. So adding to that here as we finish off, Susan, is this from the second deck, and it's card 90, Tell the Truth. It's in the Rise category here, and it says, be clear and honest, speak up, use your voice, don't speak on behalf of others, speak for yourself, no excuses, sing, throat chakra, let it out and express. So this suggests that there might be something that needs to be communicated or expressed, something you need to say, perhaps to someone, or even just say to yourself, something that you can communicate with you about what you've been feeling insecure about, or what you've been feeling that you need to be in control of, or defending, and using your communication, listening and speaking or expressing, to help you understand where you are, but also what you want from this new set of boundaries that are healthy and supportive for you. And communicating that once you're clear about what it is they need to look like. That's why this quiet contemplation time here that I'm sort of leaving you in, this is an important time to really assess that. So you can be clear in yourself, because when you're clear in yourself, then you can communicate that this is no longer accepted, I'm no longer going to do this, or I'm going to soften on this, I'm going to soften on that. So it's like an assessment of your life. You get clear about it, and then you can communicate it with others when you're ready. So I trust that makes sense. Thank you, Susan. Thanks for your support. Namaste. Okay, next. There's only one person left in here, so I think we know who it is. It's Nicki Mohler. Nicki, welcome. Thank you so much. Thanks, Jackie. Let's see which card you need to start this connection off today. So, Nicki, your best card is this. Also from Healing Energy Cards, Deck 2. And we have Own Your Power. Card 109. It's in the action category here. It says, move forward with strength. strengthen yourself, take ownership of your power in a healthy, empowering, and proactive way, and proceed. So there is a feeling of moving forward. It's almost like you've already moved through this symbol here, this energy here. So this is the sun rising, this is the Ankh, and inside here is like a night sky. So it's like you've moved through like the keyhole. You've moved through perhaps even the darkest part of the night, the difficult time that you've moved through, and you've squeezed through this tiny opening, and you've come out of that night space, you know, the dark part of the night, the dark part of the soul. Move through that, and as you come through, you emerge like as this sea turtle, and you're looking at where you're going. There's a bit of a shift too in direction here, as you're looking in a slightly different direction, and you're moving forward, carrying the wisdom and the ancient memories, the memories that you have from your life experience, and those things that you've learned through life. You're carrying those with you as you move forward. You may even be carrying your home on your back, carrying all you need with you as you move forward now, as you move forward and embrace the new day, the new dawn that's before you, as you realize that that wasn't the end as you move through the dark night of the soul, that the dawn, or the sun always rises on the new dawn. And sometimes it takes a long time, but it always rises. So the sun has risen on the new dawn. There's a feeling of hope, feeling of optimism here too, and perhaps you're being pulled in a slightly different direction. But there is certainly strength too, and power that you've tapped into as you've emerged from the difficulties and the challenges that you've faced more recently. So moving on, moving forward, allowing that to be behind you now. And what I'm feeling in your body is this strong pull from the belly. So it's a pull from your solar plexus and your sacral chakra that are pulling you forward. So a strong sense of emotion. So the sensitivity and emotional energy, a feeling that's pulling you forward, but also a strength. So the solar plexus is about your strength and your courage to continue, your strength and your courage to move and go. So these energies are enticing you forward, and it almost feels like someone's got you by the scruff, you know, like as the cat picks up its kittens by scruffing or grabbing the back of the kitten's neck. It feels like something's grabbed you by the scruff here of your belly and is pulling you forward. And because this is an central spot, I feel like the rest of your body just follows along. So your legs follow along, your upper body follows along, because this is in the middle of your body. So this is a really great place to be pulled forward from, because the rest of your body has to follow. Whereas before with Jackie's energy, the legs moving forward but the body not really agreeing, kind of adds this, creates this disconnect or this lack of alignment. So when you've got the middle pulling you forward, then that's a really great place to be moving forward from, because the rest of your body has to be on board. It has to be on side with that. And I feel like that's the case, especially when you have the combination of the sacral and the solar plexus, so your emotional and your power center moving you forward or pulling you forward. So something's pulling you forward. It does feel like it could be an external force, because it feels like a hand or something like grabbing you by the scruff of your belly and moving you forward. So it feels like there might be something else that's pulling you, some external force. It could even be connected with another person that's also like, okay, let's just do this. And you're like, okay, what the hey, I'm just going to do it. So like you're being pulled along by some external force, something that's outside of you, but it's pulling you forward from here. So there's an emotional investment or an emotional feeling. It could be an excitement or an inspiration or a feeling of motivation or a curiosity that's pulling you, but also this strength. So this just feels like the right thing to do. So you're being pulled forward here by the scruff of your belly, and it feels good. It feels almost effortless in some ways, because I feel like your legs don't even have to do much moving. It's just like you're being pulled along, which feels like it has some element of ease or some element of I wouldn't say a lack of effort, but it just feels a bit effortless. Like a good flow, actually, we could say a good flow moving forward. So you can trust in that pull that's moving you forward. As it's pulling you forward too by this belly area here, I can feel old sort of energy at your lower back. So it feels like dried up bits of dirt, like dried up mud that's just flaking off as you're being pulled forward. The flaky, dried, old stuff of the past that was holding you back is just flaking away off you. So there is a lot of stuff that you're letting go of as you're moving forward, and you're trusting this impulse to move forward. So that's shedding away, and I can feel it's very focused around your lower back. So old emotional energy that's kind of been stored there in your back from the past. But I can also feel it stripping up, like strips of like dried up mud stripping up to your shoulders. So this is also connected with burdens that you've carried from the past. Things that used to worry you before, I feel like aren't worrying you so much now. So there is this letting go of burden that you've been carrying, and just this general stripping back of old energy from your back. So old energy from your past. So it feels like there's just, you don't need to carry that with you anymore. And it feels like this is coming off pretty easily too as you move forward, and as you trust in this pull or this impulse that's leading you wherever it is that you're going. So that feels really good. Now I feel like I want to embody or embed your legs into the ground. So I feel like your hips want to come down, I feel this energy sort of hook around into your hips and down into your legs and create a solidity. Feels like a solid energy wants to come down into your legs and really lock your feet onto the ground, onto your path where you are now, and just sort of stabilize you in the physical. So this locking into place, it's like your feet being pinned down in some ways, but it doesn't feel like a permanent pin. It's just a current kind of pin down, a regrounding of yourself, just a taking stock of where you are. What do I need to do at this point? That kind of thing. It feels really good. Feels really nice energy, Nikki. So I trust this makes sense. Let's grab a card to add, and we'll see what that wants to add here at this point as we finish off. And the best card is, well, we'll go with this. It's from the first deck, Healing Energy Cards, deck 1, and it is meditation. You know, this is really interesting. Card 13. This is in neutral as well. So this is bringing everything into center. This is highlighting this area here at your belly too, with this light here right at her hands. So she's holding things here. This is where she's getting a grip or a grasp of her life, or you in many ways. The swords here offer protection. So a protective bubble around you as you move forward. There's a bit of an ungrounded feeling. She's up off the ground, but hopefully we've connected you back into the ground. So, and the strong energy here too at the throat chakra. Lots of pink around, so lots of love and support as well. So gentle opening. Be still, listen, and ask your inner self for advice and guidance, and holding your center. Holding your center as you move forward with the support and the love and the protection that you need. So really quite beautiful card here. Quite peaceful, actually. So thanks, Nikki. I trust this makes sense for you. Thank you so much for your support. Namaste. Okay, thank you so much for joining me today. That's all of the connections that I'm connecting with for this particular healing event, the personal healing event. I'll be back again at the end of August for our next personal healing event. You're very welcome to be a part of it. If you'd like to be, you can have a look on the link below to join up if you wish. I will be back in, what time is it now? 1 hour and 15 minutes. I'll be back right here to host our healing list event. So as I turn this off, I'm going to be tuning in to decide what my theme is for that and what I'm going to do. So I look forward to connecting with you then if you're coming back, or you can come back and connect with the replay later if you wish. Have a great rest of your day, and maybe I will see you very soon. Take care, and thank you so much to my patrons for your support.